All right, what's up, guys? Here we are at another demo day.
It just has to go all the way.
When the kickstand is up, this little tab is right there in front of this. So you use your heel to put the kickstand down when you get back.
And like the European bikes, when the side stand goes down, power goes out.
All right, what's good?
Professional ADV.
That's how I get on that bike.
Professional.
All right, guys, what's up? Super excited to finally ride one of these bikes, the Pan America 1250 Special. These bikes are awesome bikes from everything I've heard about them, and I'm just super excited to finally be able to ride one of these for myself out on the road. All right, and off. It doesn't feel as high up as I thought. It feels pretty good. Seems to be going forward pretty well. Handle that little bounce beautifully. It feels really good.
So cushy. The heated grips are on.
What?
The heated grips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's a little bit of a brisk day, so I forgot this bike has heated grips. So that's fantastic. I'm probably gonna play around with that here in a bit, but it feels good, man. So we're off. From the Nightster, it feels more like it just wants to kind of pull a little bit easier. Let's see, we got a warning for no key fob because it's a demo bike. No worries, that should go away here momentarily. First couple things I'm noticing. This is the first ADV style or adventure touring style kind of motorcycle I've ridden out on the road. Like most of the bikes I'm used to, let's see, oh, that kind of dips right on in. Most of the bikes I'm used to are standard Harley-Davidson. Hello, pardon us, coming on through. Most of the motorcycles I'm used to are, standard Harley-Davidsons and a little bit lower. I might ride one with a little bit higher suspension, but I've never ridden a bike this tall. And as a 5'10" rider, it's really not bad. So far, I've felt pretty comfortable with it. I really love this riding position. This is, let's see, professionally kind of lean it over a little bit, just put one foot down. Alrighty. I've got a few friends that do ride ADV bikes, so I'm definitely going to try to exaggerate a couple of the things I've seen them do. Already did the whole climbing over the bike to get on it. And I'm probably going to stand on the pegs when we cross these train tracks. Just to get the full experience, kind of dip down the full experience as an ADV bro here. Right, and all clear, whipping on around. Okay, I can already, oh! So the force I just felt right there was pretty good. That I can already tell this thing's gonna be able to pull. Stand on up. Oh, beautifully held that bump. So the gentleman did say that he prefers everyone start in rain mode since this bike is so powerful, and kind of work their way up to the sensitivity. So I did have it in rain mode, and then I kind of bumped it up to road, and now we're ready to rock. We're already in sport mode. So let's go ahead and see that. Oh, man, this thing feels good. Probably the biggest thing I hate about the Pan America is that every time I sit on one, it makes me want to go buy one. And now that I'm finally riding one, this is tough. Love the display on this thing. Huge, the speed is right there, front center, easy to see. I can see what gear I'm in. I've got full readouts of most everything going on. I've got to slow up a little bit for this taco truck, I believe. I think I've seen this one before. Tacos would be good right now. Oh yeah, those are good. Also, big thing I'm loving is the analog, or I guess the digital analog style for the tachometer. Huge fan of those. I know I talk about those a lot, but I just really like seeing that because that kind of gives me a better perspective of kind of where I have the engine speed. So before on the Nightster, I was running it at about 3,500 RPMs, and I didn't really know. I know these Rev Max motors can be revved higher, but I didn't really know where they kind of wanted to be. Whereas on this, I can see, okay, well, red line's at 9,000 RPMs on this bike. So that's significantly higher than anything I'm used to. But now I kind of know, I have a perspective, so I see that 35 is plenty easy to run, plenty good spot to run in, and I can just kind of, I can really see my peripheral about where that engine speed needs to be. Playing around with the windshield a little bit here. It's just enough to kind of go. It's hitting the helmet enough that it's not going to buff it, but it's definitely picking it all off of my chest. Like I said, it is a little bit of a brisker day, so a brisk morning like this, where it's going to heat up during the day. I can enjoy the perks of the windshield, the hand guards, and probably going to cut the heated grips on, depending on how if it gets a little cooler here in a minute. Yeah. So far, we are loving this thing. Just this riding position feels really good. And now once again, we're seeing some nice open meadows here. Like this, almost makes me want to go ride on the side of the road more, see really how it handles that off-road at high speeds. But seems to be handling the road plenty fine. Really want to see how this bike will do with more street tires. Right now, we're just going to see how it does with how it's set up stock straight from the factory. Now, the fancy little display up here, I'm not going to dive into it too much, but it does have the ride modes, that we had talked about a little bit earlier on the Nightster, where it does have the rain, the road, and the sport. But now this one actually has the off-road and the off-road plus modes. I believe what all those are going to do. Those are really going to kind of handle your throttle sensitivity, how much your engine braking, or how strong your engine braking is going to be, as well as kind of how your suspension is going to be working to handle some things. And I believe there's another factor, and then I want to see the ABS speed, how quick it responds to things. But this is pretty good, just like that. There's also a custom setting, so you can really fine-tune things to best fit the situation that you find yourself into. But she seems to be handling this just fine as is. And there's also different pages we can go to on the screen, so we can see our map. So if we have our phone connected to that, we can have our map, and then we can control all of our music to that. Let's see. Nice turn. I believe this is where he picks it up a little bit. Let's see. Well, I'm ready to go whenever you are, bud. And all right, let's go get it. Woo-hoo! All right. This thing is shoot. I know that's a Road Glide ST right there in front of me, but this is 100% the fastest bike on this pack right now. That Sports Direct, let me back up. That Sports Direct is probably pretty quick, but the power, this bike is. I'm not sure any of these other bikes can really touch this thing. It's just the power to weight ratio alone. Shoot. Oh yeah, this thing is fun. This thing just feels good out in the countryside. A shame there's no real highway ride that we're doing to really see how it handles high highway speeds for a sustained period of time. But 50, 55, it can eat that up for days. So, but I talked about the music controls. So if I had a headset paired with it as well. That's the big thing. So you have your music controls on this bike, but there aren't any speakers or anything like that. So it just lets you connect to your phone and the bike and the headsets. That way you can control them all directly from the bike. let's see, there's a little bit of gravel up here, which we have the ADV bike, so maybe we can, maybe we should hit that gravel. All right, let's go get it right here. Oh, he's not getting it. My bad. Slow down a little bit. We're gonna make this turn up here in just a moment. All right. Wow. Yeah, I really want to go. Okay, yeah, I really want to go spend some hours on this bike and really get in there. The seat feels super comfortable. There we go. Seat feels super comfy. I don't know. I think that's paired with the thicker or longer suspension travel too. It's making it a little more feel more cushiony than it is. First real leans on this thing. Okay. It is a slightly different sensation because your wheel is a lot further out than you might be used to. So you're kind of leaning. You're leaning farther, not leaning harder, but you're so much taller. So that feels good. Let's see, let's come on up to the stop sign here. Alright, looks like everybody's in the pack, so we are off. Bike is saying, oh man, there's that quick hard blip on that throttle, and you can feel this thing. This thing puts you in the saddle there. Holy cow! Oh, almost needs like a step. I saw actually Saddleman, I think, makes like a step up seat for the Pan America now. So give you a nice back wall there. Make that transition from Dyna Bro to ADV Bro a little bit easier. The only difference between the two is just where you set up camp, I guess. Right. Oh, yeah. So this riding style and this power, gosh, I'm gonna get on my bike. Yeah, my bike's gonna feel slow now. I might have to try to get a cam in my bike now, or I just get a Pan America. That would be fun. All right. So I don't love the sound of the bike. But it really doesn't sound that bad when you really get on it. It really doesn't sound terrible. I would like to ride this thing with the new upgraded exhaust on it. I've seen Dasani makes one that looks pretty good. There's a handful I've seen that really aren't that bad. They kind of sound. Super Trap was another one. That one seemed like it'd be pretty rowdy. This thing's fantastic. Enjoy the silver stoplight time. So on the Nightster, the pegs felt kind of short, but here, I mean, they're pretty wide. I mean, it feels really good. I can really not tuck in, but I can really kind of bring my legs together on this bike, and it just feels like it wants to be ridden. Alright, I need to take this thing off here. Now, shame there's no highway, and it's really shame there's no gravel driveways. Oh man, the gravel road's right up here. Shoot, I forgot. NC State has a long gravel road right up here. I don't believe you'd be allowed back on Tinder rides if you speed off like this. But that would be a fun route to take. Take every turn sideways with this thing. Yeah, and cozying or sending on through. I mean, nice breeze out here today. Weather's pretty perfect. Got a little bit of chill, so I've got the heated grips back on now. Good heat. So I've got my Thrashing Supply gloves on. I like them because they're pretty thin, so they really let me feel the controls better. And so that's really what I want to kind of feel on this bike. And I can feel, since they're thin, I can really feel the heated grips going through very nicely. Now I do like these grips a lot better than the ones on the Nightster. The Nightster, the grips on that just felt, I can see what it was. This windshield on, I'll try that out. Okay, not too bad. Pretty easy to bring up a little bit. Now I've got my wind deflectors a little bit higher there. But the grips, I mean, now I kind of know what it was. The grips on the Nightster, since they don't have the heated portion going through them, they were considerably thinner, and I think they were almost kind of small enough to grip them that I think it was kind of starting to get a little bit of a hand cramp on them. I don't think they were just quite beefy enough for me to really get my hands all the way around them very well. Whereas these grips are a little bit beefier, primarily I think because they have the heated portion going through them, and so they feel much better on my hands. Just because they're just beefier, so I can just hold them considerably better. Yes, sir. Gentleman on the twin cam Heritage. Yeah. So I mean that exhaust is right there, but I don't really feel it on the leg. It's got that little nice heat shield. The suspension feels good, nice and bouncy. Not bouncy, but I could bounce on this thing. Maybe I'll go jump the train tracks later on. That's what it means. Yeah, here we go. So, let's see, like, okay, wow. So, front, rear tire pressure, engine temperature. Let's see, there's all our settings there. Oh, it can run its own diagnostics. Interesting. Not customization. Oh, we're going now. And I can just hit that home button and send it right on back. So that's cool. Yeah, the screen's cool. Tons of things you can go into on this bike. I believe that little cap up on the right side of the screen is USB-C. So you put a phone mount somewhere on this bike, and then put a little phone mount, and then I can charge the phone up here up top. That would work out pretty well. I have seen where a lot of people mount their GPS unit to the windscreen. They mount it to the windscreen up there, so that way you've got your display there, but then you can also have like if you want to run like an actual like a Garmin GPS unit up top. But I feel like this screen here would be plenty enough. I've seen the GPS in action. I guess if you wanted something so that way you're not solely dependent on your phone, so just so you have another unit there. Yeah, I feel like your phone can run most everything off of it just fine. So, wow, this thing is fun. Let's see, do I try to trade in my bike, or do I try to get this as a second bike? Trike gang there. That's a tough call. Probably have to wait a few years, but who knows what a sort of Pan America Harley will have in a few years. This one right here, go ahead and merge on over. This one right here just feels absolutely amazing. Yeah, man, this makes me want to go where and drive it. Over the overpass here. Yeah. And it does have the European style turn signals there, so, but I really it hasn't been hard to switch over to. Everything seems to be in a really good place, laid out very well. Feels like you can access it all pretty easily. Except the cruise control. The cruise control kind of seems like a weird little bit of a spot on it. It's got just a little bit too toasty, I think. That was only on the lowest setting, so bring those down. All right, let's go ahead and go ADD bro stand on up here. And get that perfect height to take the train tracks. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll see how it feels riding up like this. Not bad. I'll try to keep it in the grooves, just kind of really see. I mean, oh man, like this really feels like you can get the bike kind of where you want it underneath you, and take those bumps really well, man. I should have sat down so soon. Rumor is there's like a Lake Wheeler road restoration process happening soon. Not sure what that's going to all entail. Traffic's going to get tricky through here eventually. But I wouldn't mind being able to, would not mind being able to enjoy that road over there. So, I'll drop it on down a single file here. This bike, I like this bike. Hit this tree right here. We just had that hurricane come through a few weeks ago. Actually, last weekend before last. Still a little bit of debris out and about, so if you find yourself ripping on any backcountry roads, be a little extra cautious. There still might be a little bit of debris out there. Ooh, I should have hit this gravel lot. I should have. No, I'm not going to do that. Alright, I bet this thing can turn on an absolute dime, too. Alrighty, so we can come on down to the end here. Get this thing front and center, yes sir. And let's whip it on and park it right here. Perfect. Oh shoot, I forgot to put it in rain mode. I'm gonna put my kickstand. I was doing what the guy was talking about. I just tried to bring my foot back to put the kickstand down, but the kickstand's right in front. Definitely not used to that too much. But let me go and drop it back in rain mode form. Yeah, no, this bike is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't ridden one of these things, like, you definitely need to come and check out the Pan America.